Greg,
Mel,
what's good with you?
chilling, man. We back to work. You know what it is.
All right. Fight that everybody's talking about. Shakur Stevenson.
What fight?
Shakur Stevenson, Edwin De Los Santos.
What fight?
A boxing match that everybody's talking about. Shakur Stevenson, Edwin De Los Santos.
I mean,
You had a lot of people that are disappointed.
yeah.
What was your thoughts?
It's different segments when I want to talk about this fight, but the fight itself wasn't a fight. It was a match between two men who on paper was perfectly matched. It was a match made for fireworks in the beginning before they actually got in the ring. But what I saw was respect and fear from both. And I respect because I understand this man could beat me. The reason I could feel it. When I say that on Shakur's behalf, what I mean is I feel the power they talking about. Even though we ain't even really get into it yet, I can feel it. I see the speed that he do have, the awkwardness that he do have, that jittery movement that he do have. I see all of that right now. And the fear was of losing. You know what I mean? The respect that De Los Santos had for Shakur was that I know this motherfucker is waiting for me to make a mistake so he could crack me. I can't let him do it. You know what I'm saying? That's where De Los Santos looking like a boxer too. The heat go to both of them. You know what I mean? Both of y'all was on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Shakur was overthinking things and forgot who he was. De Los Santos was overthinking things, forgot who he is. You know what I'm saying? Who Shakur is too. I meant to say that, I said was. But so what I saw was like, I'm not taking a risk unless he do something that allows me to, you know what I mean, get off without him really being able to do damage to me. I seen that on both ends. Shakur, he takes steps back, he do, but he was jumping back. He was getting the fuck out of there. He didn't want to get touched on the shoulder, the forearm, nothing. De Los Santos was just like, I know he's slick, I know he's fast, I ain't gonna let him corner me. You know what I'm saying? He was doing little, it was a great fight of the minds, but it wasn't a fight. You know what I mean? It was literally just a fencing match. It was back and forth, and I was just only mad because that shit was for 12 rounds. Like, you know what I mean? That was a bad look on both behalves. It wasn't just Shakur, you know what I'm saying? But the heat most of the heat is going to Shakur because of the shit he been talking. He been saying a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people question if his mind was actually on the fight or other things or other matchups. To be honest, after seeing that, I feel like they got to rematch it and somebody got to do something because I don't want to see Shakur fight nobody else. I don't want to see De Los Santos fight nobody else. I want to see that fight again, but y'all got to make an agreement that we going to swing this shit. We going to really rumble. And maybe I might be a little spoiled because right before that we had Robson Consequiao and
Navarrete. They got the
Navarrete. That was a fucking shootout. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't expecting them to look like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, who won it? That was a fight where I couldn't tell who wanted it. I couldn't tell who was really trying to win. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm hearing Shakur's grandfather after 5 rounds like, all right, we got him where we want him, come on. The fact that you wasn't letting go, you was somewhere else. You wasn't there. You wasn't trusting your old man eye. You know what I mean? The old man know what he talking about. If he didn't, we wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know, man. That fight, it was a corny fight. And it was, you know, but it was because of both fighters. They both had too much respect for each other. Too much respect. De Los Santos knew he was up against a lot. He was being, you know, that's not his promotional company and all that. But that's even more reason to go in there and snap the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, they used to say like, if the fight not going your way, make it go your way. You gotta make it a dirty fight, make it an ugly fight. It's not in your favor. If you're not the better boxer, make it a dog fight. De Los Santos tried maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Shakur at the same time, he was looking for the perfect time, but there's no such thing as perfect. We pitching in this world that it's oh, it's a such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. You have to take risks as a man. When he got in that car, that race car on that episode, and he let them cops drive him around and drive all fast and crazy, that's taking a risk. You got to do that in the ring. You know what I mean? You take a risk like that with your life, you got to do that type of shit in the ring. You don't got to lose your mind in the ring, but you got to take a risk. You got to make this man open up so that you can land the shit you wanted to land. And guess what? In the last round, he did, but it was too late. You know what I'm saying? And it really shouldn't even been the decision for that fight. That fight was like crazy. It was crazy to call.
Me and you before the fight, we talked about distractions. And I don't want anybody, saying I'm making excuses, but he had a lot of shit going on, where he's arguing with sparring partners, he's going back and forth with Dev. Like every interview, it's more so about Dev and a big fight with Tank than it was Edwin De Los Santos. Me and you felt like, he might be distracted. They started blowing him in the second round. That kind of hurt me a little bit, because we want to see him in the big fights, but you know how boxing works, right? If the casual fans ain't happy, we're not getting those big fights. So do you think that might have hurt his stock going forward with those pay-per-view fights? He's already a difficult style to deal with.
Of course it did, because people spend money, man. They spend good money on boxing alone, on these apps and tickets and pay-per-views. I don't want to watch a guy I know not gonna swing. You know what I'm saying? If we in it for the hurt business part of it, where we want to see guys get their ass whooped, and you promising the ass whooping, and then you not giving me 10% of that, it's like, I'm definitely not paying for your next fight. If I gotta pay, I'm not paying. I'm not, because if you gonna do that again, I ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was a little let down, because not by just Shakur, it was both guys. Because stylistically, that was a great fight. I'm like, oh, he gonna push his hand. Now let's talk about the distractions. There's even immediate distractions when you in the locker room. You got Bud back there, you got Andre Ward back there, Floyd came through to see you. That's a lot of pressure. Bud just put on one of the most spectacular performances we've seen in a long time. Andre Ward is one of the greatest fighters of all time. He ain't lose a fight since he was 12 years old. And Mayweather is Money Mayweather.
You got arguably the greatest fighter in there with you.
Bro, that's a lot of pressure, bro. That's a lot of pressure for a fight where you in there with a guy that you know.
Everybody's saying you next.
Right. What I'm trying to, so the reason I'm pointing that out, these young boys don't know themselves, let alone this moment right here. Take that moment in for yourself and for your team. I no disrespect to Bud, Dre Ward, or Mayweather, but you got one of them in your ear, he just demolished somebody. He like, man, as soon as you get a chance, get him the fuck out of there. Don't play with him. You got Andre Ward, he's smart. Handle business, young man. You know what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Mayweather, man. Fuck that, man. Get this money. Go ahead and win, man. Just win. It don't nothing matter but the win. You know what I mean? Fuck that. He a good fighter. We respect him, but get the win. You know what I'm saying?
He's a strong, hungry lion.
Yeah. You got all that in your ear. And then you got Grandpa. Like, yo, stick to the game plan. To me, Shakur, he from the East Coast, man. It's a different feeling when you cross them bridges and you come on over there. You know what I'm saying? They get cold, shit like that. You training in that good weather. You got all your spoils close to you whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. This Twitter shit, this Instagram shit, it's too much. Come back home and get it from the grass. I ain't saying train in your neighborhood, but the state of New Jersey got a lot of hiding spots.
You right.
It's a lot of hiding spots in Jersey. You can get a little camp house in the woods somewhere near some mountains or something and get busy. Get on your monster shit. I didn't see a fighter. That's not what I saw. I saw somebody who was worried about losing, who wanted to do just enough to get through the rounds and still to fight. I ain't see a fighter, and that's on both. I ain't see a fighter from neither one of them. Now, Los Santos, yeah, he been trying to prove what he can do. You know, people think I can't box, they think I can just punch. Yeah, I'm trying to box. Yeah, but mix that dog in there too. And he tried a couple times, but it just wasn't there. But I just was disappointed by the match, like the whole match. Like, it just fell apart from what it was on paper. On paper, it looked great. You know what I mean? But when you think, like, all right, the reason I'm going into it like this, when you think about Tank, in a situation like that, he gonna bust his gun. He gonna bust his gun. So you show him, you show Tank in that fight. You don't like being in there with punchers, like real punchers, or what you think is a real puncher. Tank gonna play that against you. He gonna do shit like that against you. With what you show Dev is you may be easily distracted. You wasn't in all them other fights because you already could see your angles. You already could see what you could do to a motherfucker and how you was gonna do it. But with De Los Santos, because you knew he was 100% ready, he swore that it was his best camp, and he was in great shape. They both was in great shape, but you just didn't want to do too much, and you end up really not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Out of 36 minutes. So it's like, I mean, to these young fighters, man, you gotta be you, man. It don't matter who you got in the locker room. It don't matter who you got around you, because none of them motherfuckers getting in the ring with you. None of them. So you gotta go in there and be you. You gotta get ready, and you gotta listen to your coach. These motherfuckers don't listen no more. I'm seeing this over and over and week after week. These fighters getting in there and they not listening, man. They not doing nothing the team talked about. You know what I'm saying? And the ones who are, they quiet guys, and they try. But as soon as they get a little bit of stardom, you know what I mean? As soon as people start recognizing them, asking to take pictures and do this and that, shit go downhill. Not everybody can handle all that pressure. Mayweather is one of them guys, he can handle it. Andre Ward really kept to himself. He really kept motherfuckers away from, yeah, people have walked him out before and all of that, but he know how to keep his composure. These youngest, you know what I'm saying, they learning how to keep their composure. And they going for this big look. They want this look. But fuck the look, man. Go out there and make a motherfucker pay, because if I know you're gonna go out there and make a motherfucker pay every time or try your best, I'm gonna spend my money. But the people don't want to spend their money when I'm watching a fucking ballerina contest. I'm just watching motherfuckers dance around. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? And this is not hate, because every time I say something, it's hate. I don't know where that come from. I don't hate nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's some motherfuckers I don't care for, but I don't hate nobody. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm speaking from the heart, like really lock in. Stay off the gram, stay off all that shit, Twitter and all that shit. Lock in. Stop trying to entertain people through fake beefs and all that shit corny. That shit corny. Because at the end of the night, it's like, he said all that and then you did that, or you didn't do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It looked bad. So, I mean, you know, like I said, don't all go to Shakur though. It's both of them. They both was on some bullshit, but I think it was too much respect for each other, too much fear of losing. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. But if you go, part of being a GOAT is taking a chance. Everybody that's considered a GOAT took a chance. You know what I'm saying? No matter they lost or they won, no matter what it is. And for real, ain't no losing in life, because we all got a death date. To be honest, everybody gonna get the fuck up out of here at one point in time. So some of us leave early, some of us leave late, but we all got a date. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. That shit, it was just tough to watch. Very tough to watch.